It didn't happen all at once. There was no fight, no obvious shift, no moment you could point to and say, that's when it changed. If anything, it felt like the opposite.
She had just opened up to you.
Not surface-level stuff, not the kind of conversations people have to pass time. This was different. She told you things she doesn't usually say out loud, about her past, about how she gets overwhelmed sometimes, about how she's scared of losing herself in relationships. And in that moment, you didn't push, you didn't fix, you just stayed, present, calm, safe. And you could feel it. She relaxed into you. Her body softened, her voice slowed down, her guard dropped in a way that felt real. It wasn't just attraction anymore, it was something deeper, connection, the kind most people say they want, but don't always know how to hold. That night felt different, closer, warmer, more honest. She looked at you longer than usual, texted you a little softer, maybe even said something like,
I feel really good with you. And you believed it.
because you could feel it too. But then, something subtle shifted, not immediately, not dramatically, just enough to make you pause. Her replies got a little shorter, a little slower, still there, but not the same. You told yourself it was nothing. People get busy, people have moods, you didn't want to overthink it, but then you noticed something else. She stopped leaning in the same way, not physically, emotionally. The warmth was still there, just slightly out of reach, like she had taken one small step back without saying anything. And this is where most people get confused, because from the outside, nothing looks wrong. She still replies, still engages, still seems interested, but something inside the connection feels different. Did I do something wrong? Was it too much? Did I say something that pushed her away? So you adjust. You become a little more careful, a little more aware. You might text a bit more. Try to bring back the same feeling, not in a needy way, just in a hopeful way. But here's the part most people don't see. It wasn't the closeness that pushed her away. It was what the closeness triggered inside her, because when someone feels safe enough to open up, it doesn't just create connection, it also activates something deeper, something quieter, something she might not even fully understand herself, because feeling close means something real is starting, and real things come with risk. Risk of losing control, risk of getting hurt, risk of being seen too clearly. And for some people, that's where the shift begins. She didn't lose feelings. That's the part that's hard to accept, because it looks like distance, it feels like withdrawal, but internally, it's often the opposite. She felt something real, and instead of leaning further in, her system pulled her back, not because she didn't want it, but because it started to feel important. And importance creates pressure, even if no one says it out loud. Suddenly, it's not just, this feels nice. It becomes, what if this changes me? What if I get too attached? What if I can't handle it if it ends? So she creates space, not always consciously, not as a strategy, just instinct. And this is the moment that defines everything, because most people respond to that space by trying to close it. They lean in more texts, more reassurance, more effort, trying to bring things back to how it felt before. But the more they do that, the more she feels the pressure she was already trying to escape. So she pulls back a little more, not dramatically, just enough to breathe. And suddenly, you're both reacting to each other without fully understanding why. You think she's losing interest, she feels like things are moving too fast, and the connection that once felt easy starts to feel fragile. But here's the truth most people never hear. The distance didn't come from a lack of feeling, it came from too much of it, too fast. And the people who handle this well don't chase, they don't withdraw either. They stay steady. They don't panic when the energy shifts, they don't try to force closeness back into place. They give space, without creating distance. They stay grounded in themselves, not cold, not detached, just calm. Because real connection isn't built in the moments where everything feels easy. It's built right here, in the space between closeness and distance, where one person leans back, and the other doesn't collapse. Where nothing is said directly, but everything is being felt. And if you can stay steady in that moment, without chasing and without shutting down, she starts to feel safe again, not because you pulled her closer, but because you didn't need to. And that's the moment where connection stops being fragile and starts becoming real. Not intense, not overwhelming, just stable. And for someone who's used to pulling away, that kind of stability is what makes them slowly come